our family. Janie's the youngest of 7 kids. And boy, wasn't that fun. Janie?
We are family. I've got all my siblings and me. Meet the Andersons. Good morning. My name is Janie Anderson, and I am the youngest of 7 kids. I'm 54, going to be 55 in October. I have 2 brothers and 4 sisters, as you can see up here. I was born in Hawaii, lived in Virginia for a year, lived in New York, moved out here to this beautiful state of Colorado in 1985. We all had chores growing up, and as you can imagine, me being the youngest, I was the lucky one who became the dishwasher. In addition to that, my mom worked nights so she would sleep on Sunday mornings. My dad was teaching catechism, so my sister would load all of us 7 kids in her car and we'd go to church. Well, we were supposed to. But me being the youngest, I'd have to sneak in church, grab 7 bulletins, sneak back out, and off we go. This way, when we got home, we can say we went to church. We all learned to live in a small house, 3 bedrooms, 1 rec room, which was converted into another bedroom, and 1 shower. Boy, wasn't that fun every morning trying to rush off. We all grew up in a neighborhood where we played kick the cans on Friday nights. I don't know if some of you remember that game, but it was awesome. However, at 8 o'clock at night, we would bust home because the Partridge Family was on, and then the Brady Bunch. We were so cool. All of my family members were athletes, and we played multiple sports, both in high school and college. My parents were athletes as well. I became the second player in the history of Elmira College to score 1,000 points in a 4-year basketball season. I'm still the second female to do that, 30 years later. My parents graduated from college. My dad had a cross-country scholarship to Fordham University, and my mom graduated from St. Vincent's Hospital in New York City, where she became a nurse. We all went to college too, of course we did, because we didn't have a choice. But that's a good thing. Our careers included being nurses, teachers, CNAs, engineers, and me, the cop. I had to go the radical way. When I came to Colorado, I started a job with Junior Academy Daycare so I could go on all the field trips and check out the state. I made a whopping $3.75 an hour. My mom was pissed because I used to make $9 an hour teaching swimming and I had a college degree. I met my partner Maggie over 30 years ago at Junior Academy. She made $3.85 because she was the bus driver. We later decided to have kids. We weren't sure if the adoption would ever go through because our state was a little conservative at the time, so we then tried insemination. And the following week we found out, guess what, we're going to have 2 kids. The adoption was approved and Maggie was going to have a baby 8 months later. We didn't know if we should laugh or cry and what we had gotten ourselves into. We do believe that it takes a village to raise a family, as we've had many, many people help us over the years because we were both cops, had crazy cop hours, working full-time, call-outs, etc. So it does matter. It takes a village to raise a family. I took the same approach as my parents did when I raised my kids. Be involved with your kids. I can count on less than 10 fingers the number of events that I missed from my kids' kindergarten, the little Thanksgiving play, all the way through high school sports and whatnot. And they both are 3-sport athletes. Take the time to spend with your kids, make it happen. And really, sleep was just overrated. As far as my interests go, I'm a sports and concert snob. I'll work extra duty, working transients, or whatever it takes so I can sit behind the goalie at the hockey game or in the front row seats of Cher or whatever. My football team stinks. I don't know if anyone's heard of the New York Jets. We're hoping once again for a better season. I also love the Yankees, who aren't doing so hot right now. Dan Boston is just kicking us up, but we'll get there. And I'm a Blackhawks fan. Some of my favorite concerts have been Billy Joel and Elton John head-to-head. That was an amazing concert. The pianos are right together. And also like Earth, Wind & Fire in Chicago's. But I've been to tons and I love concerts. It's so much fun. I also love to hike and bike. I used to do the incline once a week till I had my knee surgery. However, I did get back on that incline, although it took me a long time to get up to the top. But I did it. Yay. My poor black lab, Dr. Dre, He wishes he could be back on the incline, but it's against the rules now, so he can't do it with me anymore. I always knew I wanted to be a police officer. I used to watch 1 Adam 12, and I had a crush on the cop named Jim, if anybody remembers him. I remember going to a bank on a tour. It was a field trip in first grade, and I was fascinated with the surveillance cameras, and I was thinking, how can we catch these robbers? I just always wanted to be a cop. During the Girl Scout trip, when I went to Washington, D.C., I can remember being more excited about the FBI Academy than the White House or those other important buildings down there in Washington, D.C. And I've been a cop for 29 years. I've been a lieutenant for over 10 years. I don't want to be a commander. I don't want all the meetings. You're too far removed. Mike can attest to that probably, although you tested for commander. But I can retire in October. Haven't decided if I'm going to or not. I know I can drop and stay another 5 years. I have got my Uber license if anyone needs a ride. I've got my pedal cab license, and I'm just looking for something else to do. Not sure what I'm going to do. But I can tell you I will be a good cop until the day that I retire. I won't give up. Let's see. In closing, my siblings and I are still very close and have a group text that we use every day. We continue to wear our Anderson Strong bracelets for my brother Donald, who has stage 4 cancer, and he's been battling that for 2 years. My own children and I text regularly. Maggie and the kids Snapchat. I don't know how to do that stuff, so I just text him once in a while when she shows me a picture. My son became a cop, followed our footsteps. He's a cop up in Arvada, Colorado. My beautiful daughter, Gabby, she was tutoring kids out in LA for a couple of years after she graduated from college. She's now getting her master's in public health administration. So will I retire in a few months? Who knows? But I do know one thing. I have the family that I was born into and the family that I made. Thank you very much.